Hello and welcome to my sacred space. My name is Glenn, and I have a message for someone and some people, a collective that have been or are going through what may be called as hell, and what they need to know to process it fully and come out and up of that and ascend to the higher heavens and to spiritual planes where they may be at peace and find some integration and just wholeness and balance within their life. So we put up our hands and we say wholeness and balance vibrations to all beings and to all people who are listening onto this space. And I just want to begin with taking a few deep breaths in to acknowledge the transmission that is coming through my heart and the hearts of the people that are listening to this. And so we just take a moment of silence right now. And if you can listen with your third ear and your third eye for the transmission that I am reaching for. Okay. What I want to talk about today is how ascension and raising your vibration actually works, and what you're going through, and the reason why you're going through hell on earth right now. And if you've been struggling financially, if you've been struggling mentally, if you've been struggling psychically and are being, attacked by demons, or just assaulted in any way by demonic forces or dark forces, we need to acknowledge that these beings are real. They have certain influence on us if we give them that power. And the reason why you're going through hell is because in order to ascend, you need to descend to the darkest depths, the bottom of the ocean, the bottom of the pit, just like Batman, and rise up out of it and climb through, we go through many valleys and peaks on our spiritual journey, and I'm lucky enough to find myself at a peak right now where I'm feeling higher energies, where I'm feeling my higher sensory perception turn on. And it's just a matter of understanding that you need to go through hell to get to heaven. And you need to go through the darkest, void in order to be blessed and receive the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of Christ, the Spirit of God, the Spirit of Source. And it's all about going down and humbling yourself before the powers that be, before the powers of darkness and the powers of light, and coming up out of that. And so the anecdote that I want to use is the descent of Inanna. And for those who may know Inanna or know her as Ishtar or even know her as Aphrodite, Inanna is the goddess of Venus, is a Sumerian goddess who had to descend into hell to retrieve, I believe it's to retrieve something of value to come back out of it. And she was actually brutally disemboweled before her sister, whose name I forget, but it's another goddess. It's the goddess of the underworld. And she lost everything. She was disemboweled. She was probably, crucified in a way. And she had to reclaim herself, pick herself back up together to go back up. And so the reason why she did this is A, because there was no other option. She had to descend, and B, the ascension and the sacrifices that she made to descend would benefit her from coming back up again. So I went through a period of time where I felt like I was with Inanna and going on the journey with her. Her son actually, her son and her were lovers, and they went through hell together. And I believe, I don't know if I'm getting the story right, but I believe she went in to retrieve her son from the underworld to come back up again. But what she had to do, she had to sacrifice her most valued possessions. Her, that being her soul, her essence, but what I did was I was in Costa Rica, and there's a fire, and something in me told me it's time to descend. It's time to give up and sacrifice, my most valued possession, which at the time was a hoodie like this one. This is from Lululemon. I know that maybe isn't, the best company out there. But it was a red sweater. It was maroon. It was exactly like this. And I sacrificed it to the fire, and it burned. And I burned my other very valuable Turkish cloth scarf that was mine, and it was red as well. And what happened was I descended into the underworld, and I started to see the underworld around me. It's hell is right here in front of us. It's inside us, and heaven is here right inside us as well. So I began seeing, demonic presences, demonic entities, angels as well, fallen angels, succubuses. I had just a nightmare. My soul at one point was, when I was sleeping, it was a disaster, sleep paralysis. I came. This is hard for me to talk about. Just give me a moment. My soul was dragged out of my body, and it's like it descended into hell, and it was tortured and pretty much psychically raped by a satanic energy. And a lot of people can't talk about this because it's so triggering, but it was almost a form of SRA, satanic ritual abuse, that I was going under. And I'm happy to say that I don't have those experiences anymore, and that's because I made my descent into the underworld, into hell, to then rise back out of it, and that's what Jesus also did when he was crucified. He descended into hell for 3 days. Apparently he was in hell, and he went to go gather as many souls as he could so that they could be resurrected with him, and he came back 3 days later. I'm a Gnostic Christian. I don't know if I believe fully the story of salvation. I believe that the demiurge could be the God of the Bible, Yahweh or Yaldabaoth, and Yeshua was an emissary and a liaison between the highest God source, the Most High, All Father, All Mother, and came down, because the God of the Old Testament and the New Testament are very different. So, it's about cultivating that Christ consciousness, but why you're going through hell right now, why you're seeing demons, why you're being, maybe tormented or psychically attacked, or, any kind of aggression coming from the enemy, is because you need to fully surrender and come down, humble yourself before the demonic powers that are powerful, that do not have power over you. They cannot kill you. They cannot harm you in any way, but you need to humble yourself before the powers that be so that you can come back up again. I used to be a spiritual warrior in the army of the Lord, and I would be fighting demons and killing demons, and that's just not the way. As Sivan Bomar pointed out, he had a dream where he was killing demons, and doing that infected him with the demonic energy. And so you need not fight, you need not kill, you need not banish, but you need to go through the underworld to come back up. And a really great way to do this is actually with spirit animals. They are of the higher and the lower astral planes. You can call on these powers. I really believe in the black jaguar power. I was blessed to meet Mother Jaguar, who is an ayahuasca shaman and just a wonderful presence. And you can call on these powers to shamanically go through the underworld with you, and they can guide you and be your protection, and it's very wonderful. So the reason why you're going through hell is because you need to ascend to heaven, and the only way to go through that process is it's an internal hellscape. Hell is right inside, I believe maybe in the second chakra and the first chakra, and we need to rise up, the kundalini, to get to where we need to go. And I unfortunately fell into a bout of psychosis where I was experiencing hell, and I was labeled as schizophrenic or psychotic, and I was just ascending. So my advice to anybody who's going through this is, do not speak to a psychiatrist, do not share what's going on with other people, because they will put you on medication, they will put you on a CTO, they will throw you in the mental hospital, and it's a pretty tough climb out of there. And that could be maybe your path as well. I know when I went to the mental hospital, I met a bunch of people who I resonated with and who are going through the same thing. You know, a lot of drug addicts go through hell because they're choosing to engage in the boons and the fruits of the hellscape that's implanted within them. And so they're, you know, smoking crack, smoking meth, and they're amplifying the hellscape that's going on, you know. And it's pretty sad to see, you know. And I had my own span of addictions that lasted you know, a little while, and you know, I just loved doing it, and it just made everything so much worse. I believe in the power of medicine. I believe in the power of the medicine of ketamine. Wonderful. If you can get ketamine assisted therapy, that can help you go through so much years of therapy in just an hour. It's pretty wonderful. I believe in ayahuasca. I believe in Bufo. I believe in magic mushrooms and 4-MeO-DMT. I believe these are medicines to help us, but must be used in a ritual, ceremonial setting. You must respect the drug. You must pray over it. You must give it to God and give it to Creator, give it to Source for it to be blessed, and then you engage with it and call on your guides and your spiritual teams and your ancestors to help you go through this. So yeah, I'm just happy anyone who may have found any you know, use of this video. I will be posting more videos and just sharing my journey so far, and talk about some very real things. You know, demons are real, angels are real, and we need to understand the dynamics of dissension and ascension in order to fully raise our vibration and to come up and out of the misery and the despair that is in the hell realms, which is the Qliphoth, you know. And yeah, so I think I'll talk about the Qliphoth in another video, but this is just a transmission sent out to people that are in need and desperate for answers. You know, you are descending into hell so that you can ascend into hell. It has to work that way. So just trust in the process, keep surrendering. And if you want, do a ritual where you sacrifice your most valued possessions. That could be anything. That could be, it has to be something of substance. You know, I have a key right here that is probably my most valued possession right now, but I have completed my dissension. So, and you know what? I'll bite my tongue on that. I believe we would go many ascensions and descensions depending on where we are on the path, and sometimes you need to descend into the hellscapes to come back out. So, yeah, let's hope and pray that this message receives exactly who it needs to receive at the exactly right time, and may we bless the algorithm with God's source consciousness so that it can be transmitted to exactly who it needs. So if you're not already subscribed, I would appreciate some more subscribers. And yeah, I just got a lot of knowledge and experience in this field, and I just love to help people on their journey. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, I do energy medicine clearings. I do psychic etheric surgery. We can remove things, we can add things, we can do quantum corrections to the light body, and we can do upgrades, and we can do personalized message. So yeah, bless you, and thank you for listening. Take care.